guys? How's everybody doing today? I'm doing well, thank you for asking. Body beat down here on this hump day afternoon. It's about 3:45 in the PM. So, of course, we got another snow day today. It's going to be a snow week. So, anyway, I did have a doctor's appointment today here in my town with my new primary care physician. And just going over some basic things. And of course, she just gave me a new prescription, for my regular medications, blood pressure, cholesterol, gout. And I mentioned to her about maybe getting some testosterone, just getting my test levels checked. Sorry. And telling her that I have a lot of the symptoms that come with that, and so I couldn't get that done today because the people that do the lab work and all that, they weren't in. I don't know if it was because they couldn't make it in because of the snow, or the computers were down so they didn't come in, or something. Their computers were down, so. I don't know which it was. They probably got snowed in, probably couldn't make it. But so I go back in, I think February 2nd. I don't know, a couple weeks or something like that. Couple weeks? It ain't a couple weeks. I don't know when I go back. Anyway, I go back in early February and get that done. And then I also talked to her about, I let her know that I got depression really bad, and anxiety and stuff like that. And she asked me if I'm on any medication, and I said no. I said I was back in early 2016. I got on something for it, but I didn't really know if it was doing any good. And plus, I think it's what was making my hair fall out. They diagnosed me as having alopecia, but it could have been just the medication making my hair fall out. But it looked just like alopecia. So she said, well, let me give you something to try. It's a few days supply of it. She said, take it at night, take one at night, every night, and it'll take a couple nights for it to finally kick into your blood system. And Auvelity, Auvelity, and there's a lot of other names going on with it, but it's 105 milligram, 45 milligram, 105 milligram. Anyway, I don't know, that's what it says. Oh, it's got, probably because it has two things in it. So probably one thing is 45 milligram and maybe another thing is 105 milligram maybe. I don't know, something like that. So she just gave me a sample bottle to try. Told her that I have insomnia, that I have trouble sleeping, and my brain is going 1,000 miles an hour. And I let her know, I've had depression for years, and plus with my stupid son putting me through what he's putting me through, and so we're just gonna see how this works and go from there. And anyway, so that's that part of my journey today. Another part is I just want to try to talk quickly about my working out. I believe on my last video I talked about it's time to change and that I'm ready for that to happen. And I can definitely say that trying to worry about those high numbers that I'm always going for and that some of you are always going for. Now, we're not all the same, of course, how we handle things, but trying to constantly better yourself with higher numbers is stressful. It really is. So I've reached all my goals, and I've talked about that before, how I've reached all my goals and I've reached more goals and more goals. And I think the hardest thing to do is to stop doing that because of how hard that we worked to get there. But you have to look at that and say, well, what's more important? Staying stressed and worrying about hitting these numbers again and again, or maybe going up 5 pounds in a year again? Or should we bring things down, relax, enjoy a workout like it should be enjoyed, and, try to calm ourselves down a little bit? Because you got one over here that's so stressful that sometimes it just makes you miserable. It makes you not want to work out. And then sometimes you got this over here that isn't quite as bad, and you enjoy it, and you get in there and you get work done, and you feel productive, and you don't feel overly stressed. So I finally feel good with that decision, and it took me a long time to get to that point, because I've been talking about this for a long time. But I'm finally there, and again, the only person I've ever competed with is myself. So, I'm not out here competing in the real world. I'm not competing with anybody online. And, if you do, that's your thing, that's great. Just remember, you're never going to be the strongest. There's always someone out there that's going to be stronger. So it's a never-ending battle. So really the best thing to do is compete with yourself. And I've done that. I've gotten stronger than I've ever been in my life, in my early 50s. And I've accomplished so much in the gym, and I could not be any more happy for myself. And knowing that I finally am at that place and that I can finally come down on the weights means I've made success, that it was successful. And it's hard to look at it that way, but it's a successful mission. It was a successful mission for me. And so a lot of you know my top end lifts. I was bench pressing 405, flat bench pressing 405. I can get it one rep with relative ease. I got to 415, and I'm good with that. I did an incline bench a few weeks ago of 405 pounds. I have done a flat bench, 315 pounds for 10 reps, about five times now maybe. I've done 300-pound bench press for 10, 11, 12 reps a couple times, a few times. I've done incline presses, crazy, and I've done dumbbell flat and incline crazy. Of course, all I have is 100-pound dumbbells, but I've done a set of 20. And so I've done everything I can do with my bench press, and there's no reason for me to try to go any farther. There just isn't. So this is where I cut off. I'll probably never ever go for 405 again. I don't really have the need to anymore. I've done it, And if I did it the next 10 years, then what does that mean? I just did it the next 10 years. So, and that's the same thing with my squats. Of course, my squats I've had to stop quite a while ago, and now I just do bench squats. And I'm not going to be going up heavy with those anymore. Will I do 405? Maybe. Because this is a tall bench and it's not putting so much stress on me. So I may continue trying to do 405 some here and there. mostly it's going to be a 315 kind of thing, working out, doing bench squats. And I'm okay with that. I got to 460, I think was my last PR I got with my real squats, with no bench or anything, a real squat. I think I got 460. That's 55 pounds more than I ever thought that I would do. My goal was to get 405, and I've done that multiple times, and even reps with it. And then to see that I got to 460, you can't beat that. I'm happy. That was one of my worst lifts that I ever had to learn how to do, at least learn well enough for me and my body how it works. So I'm good with my squats. I'm good with doing bench squats. Speaking of, my leg is feeling percentages better than it was, at the beginning of all this. I can move it a little bit. Now, if I'm sitting, back in the chair and I got my leg up over the arm of the chair or something and the dog hits my foot and it makes my leg kind of pop like that, then, it's still, like that. So, it's not better, but I can at least get my foot to here in this position here, whereas I couldn't even do that before. I couldn't even do this. So it's a percentage better. I don't know what percentage, but it's quite a percentage better. So I'm good with my squats there. Deadlifts done. No more PRs with that. I topped out at 550. Was it 550 or 555? I don't remember. Probably 550. Yeah, 550. So I never thought in a million years I would get up to 550. I've even done a set of 2 reps with the 500. And that's the equivalent of these guys out here doing 1,000 pounds in my head. For me, that's insane. So, and again, these numbers are a drop in the bucket compared to what a lot of people can do. But again, you got to look at what you're doing and go there. Worry about that. So, my deadlifts are done. I really don't foresee me going up to 500 ever again, even to 500. I've done it, a lot of times now, and I got to where I was doing it fairly decently and reliably. And I really don't see any reason to go above 405 with my deadlifts anymore. Just get a little workout, and I feel good about that. And it took me a long time to get to this point. And like I mentioned before, I've mentioned it before, and I think on the last video I did. But one of the hardest things is to be able to say, to have to say, well, I used to do that. What do you bench press? Because that's what everybody asks. What do you bench press? Well, I used to do 405 a lot. I could do that. Oh, okay. Well, now I just work out. I change things up. And then everybody's always doing it. Yeah, I get you. But man, 405, but that's pretty good. So, you got to get that through your head that, what you used to do is what you used to do, and where you are now is where you are now. So, and that's a big thing to get past. And I believe probably all of you can agree to that that's probably the hardest thing to get past, is what you used to do. Well, I used to be able to jog 3 miles. I can't do that no more, but I'm okay there. I'm not losing sleep over that. So I used to go play basketball literally every day, and I don't do that anymore. I got past that. So this is, these are just more things that you have to get past. And, same thing's going to be with my shoulder presses. I topped out at 290 or 295, something like that. 1 rep, barbell. I'm not going for 300. That was just an extra little side mission, and I'm not worried about that. I've already conquered the shoulder press. Probably there's no reason for me to go above 225 on a shoulder press. And as far as the dumbbells go, I really don't see the need for me to do the 100s anymore, but I might periodically try to get some of the 100s, but that's just if I feel like it, you know. I don't want to feel like I have to do that, because all that does is put more stress on you and make something that should be fun and good and healthy into a job. And I don't want this to be a job anymore, and that's kind of what it was. So that's also what happened with my cycling. When I was cycling for 5.5 years, it went from getting a new bike and heading out to the road and, oh man, this is fun, man, I'm like a kid again, man, I feel good, to I gotta ride, I gotta ride, I gotta ride, I gotta ride, I gotta ride. There were months where I rode every day of the month, morning, noon, night, whatever it was, rain, shine, sleet, snow, heat, freezing, snot, everything freezing on my face, to sweating my butt off to where I thought I was going to die. So it becomes a chore, it becomes work, and it's not fun. So then that's probably a lot of the reason why I quit cycling, which I hope to eventually get back, at least to some degree. So this is a long intro to the video, but it's needed. I need to catch people up on what's going on. And basically, I just want to work out. And I'm probably just going to work out Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. It could be simple, full body workouts like what I've done so far this week and what I'm going to do today. Or it could be the typical 3 or 4 movements, you know, bench press, deadlift, squat, shoulder press. Or it could be any number of things, 6, 7, I don't know. But I want to do a little more, but I want to do a little less, if that makes sense. I don't know if you can make it make sense, but I did. Maybe thanks to these. I haven't taken any yet. So, anyway, I just want to enjoy general health and fitness and be happy and get away from the stress that I put myself through this whole time for 5 years. It's been a lot of stress, and a lot of you that lift heavy, you know this, you know it's stressful, and it's not pleasant sometimes, a lot of times, and I think we forget that we need to just work out. So that's what I want to do. That's what I want to turn towards, and that's kind of what I wanted to do in the very first place when I started back, was just work out. So I'm actually at a good place where I feel mentally okay, dropping my numbers and getting away from the crazy stuff. And I didn't know if I would ever get to this point. I didn't know if it would. I didn't know if I could ever get it to just sit right in my head, and I'm okay with it. So, hey, if I'm still alive in 10 years and I get the itch to push the limits again, hey, maybe it'll happen, maybe. But again, I got to go back to the doctor, get blood work. I'm getting my test levels checked. And yeah, so we're going from there as far as the doctor goes. Right now we're going to be doing some bench squats. Basically, we're doing the same thing I did Monday. It's just I'm kind of mixing up what I'm doing. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. So today we're going to start with some bench squats, and we'll just go from there. And it's going to be quick and easy. And next week maybe we'll get back to a little bit different setup. We'll see. I don't know. So guys, I hope you stuck around for this long. If you did, congratulations, you win one of these. Now you don't get none of those. These are mine. but you do get to watch me do a really easy full body workout. So let's go ahead and start these squats. All right, let's do 135 pound bench squats. I'll keep my shoes on because, well, I don't really care right now. Of course, it's not easy for me to get under the bar because I'm not warmed up. Set number 2, 135. All right, let's do some incline bench pressing. We just got 135. All right, let's do one more set, 135. All right, let's do some easy bar French press. Got 65 pounds. I'll do 11. All right, second set, 65 pounds. All right, let's do 30-pound dumbbell shoulder presses. Pound dumbbell, set number 2. All right, we're going to do some dumbbell rows. Got a 50-pound dumbbell. for set number 2, 50 pounds. Hi, I'm going to do some easy bar curls, 65 pounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, final set, 65 pounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, guys, and just like that, our little workout's done. I'm not going to bore you with a long closing to the video, since the opening of the video was maybe a minute or 20 long. So anyway, we're going to start this journey, this new timeline in my fitness journey. And 2026, I hope, can be a little bit better all the way around for me. And hope it can for everybody else. And for everybody that tunes in and takes part, I appreciate you. I really do. And a lot of you out there, I like watching your videos and taking part. And doing some good stuff out there, guys. Keep it up. And anyway, if you want, maybe like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff to the Body Beatdown. That's me, Michael. You're kind of happy to be here again, host. And don't forget, guys, get up, get out, get rad, do it to it, and we'll see you next time on the Body Beatdown. See y'all later.
Get up, get out, get rad, and do it to it!